Did you see the Wyatt Six reveal their faces?
It just yeah, nice Rob Zombie cover.
That's what's his
Dexter
name? Dexter
Loomis.
Loomis. You think they'll be smart and just let him keep the names and say that's Dexter Loomis and kind of say these are guys that are been here, but we haven't seen them in a long time. They've revealed Rowan, but it was a big reveal for Joe Gacy and Dexter Loomis to have their faces off. I didn't
Dexter's
expect the
been off
dreads.
TV so long, he has fucking dreadlocks now.
You know what I saw him on the other day, by the way? Tacoma FD.
Oh,
You know,
really?
with the
Was he
Super
like an
Troopers
extra?
guys? Huh?
Do you have like a couple scenes or?
No, yeah, he was the rival. He was like the doppelganger of the rival team
Okay,
for one of the main characters. It was interesting because it's like
that's good.
Dexter Loomis.
That's sweet. Fuck yeah.
And by the way, here's my other thing, and this is with Braun Strowman. They even put on his new Funko and what's his name, Joe Gacy. Why do they all have the bullhorn loop in their nose now? Is that a
No,
thing now with this new? But everybody's doing it now, so it's not like unique and cool, in my opinion. The septum or
I
whatever it's
don't think
called.
it's ever fucking. Every time a girl has it, I'm
Now,
all.
some girls get away with it, but it depends on your nose.
It's not. Yes, yes,
Depends
yeah.
on your nose. Some girls is like, oh, look, you could pull it off. Other girls is like, ugh. And I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, it's like if I got it, I would look like a
You're
literal bull.
being a little mean, but it's all right.
I got a nose where I would look like an actual.
Oh yeah, me too, dude. I got a fucked up nose. I can't be drawing any like extra like attention to this shit.
If we tried to make it in wrestling at this age in our life and we were a tag team, we'd put the bull piercings and we'd call ourselves the Bulls. I think that would work. I
Like
think it'd be a good gimmick. We'd get El Torito back. What's
the
his name?
Bulls.
Mascarada?
Oh yeah, from the greatest match of all time, WLC, my
With
favorite.
the Puerto Rican Matadors. Puerto Rico does as I don't think it has anything to do with Matadors, but for some reason Epico and Primo were
Yeah, for
Matadors.
some
Remember that?
reason.
I wish they bring them back. That's the next. I want to see them in War Games. It's like, and your partners for War Games.
Remember these old, these old dudes.
Los Matadors and El Torito.
Yeah, dude,
Remember?
it was pretty cool. Although, did you see the photo that I was like Dexter Loomis's look is exactly like Rob Zombie's first publicity photo from like 90 something. Even the X, yeah, you saw that, yeah.
Yeah. I
It's
saw
so
I
funny that
was
they do that, dude. It's like, or sometimes you notice that they only whoever researched it, they only looked on the first page of like Google. Do you remember like the Viking thing? And then they
yeah.
had Vikings, and it was like they had the first image. Like if you literally Googled Viking, whatever, they just put all the images that you would see on as part of their thing. And someone on like Reddit pointed out it was really funny.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this thing. I really am. I like all that
Oh,
the supernatural
the
it's a
Wyatts.
it's a good mixture of the supernatural, creepy, but it not over the like it's not like they're burning the Undertaker at a casket and he appears on the screen. That's where you have to.
And also the single piano note played over and over again has been underrated for a long has been overrated for a long time.
Damn, whoever wrote that, it's
Now it's
better.
back.
Have you
Ding.
seen that, by the way, about the people that there's like a lot of criticism on this? I guess the really good people that used to do the soundtracks after Jim Johnston was fired by Vince McMahon, which is crazy, uh, was CFO money, and then they are out. So the people that do it now, the criticism is that all the songs start with the names of the wrestler, and then they just go into like generic music. So it's like Andrade. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh yeah, I guess it is.
It's like Street Profits. All of them start like in a generic way.
Oh,
People are
I didn't notice
complaining
that.
about.
So yeah, I
If
don't really like all the people who you just mentioned. I'd never watched their walkouts.
I'm trying to think of who. Yeah,
That's
it's
like
just a
an
weird.
NXT and shit, dude. I got through NXT in about 19 minutes.
Did you?
Yeah, if you fast forward through all the butts and
Oh,
all and all the, I mean, even though deep down I don't want
they
to,
have
but
some really good butts on that show. I mean, those girls. I mean, I want to be
well, that
friends with
one
that.
chick,
The joke,
Maddie
Anchorman.
Rinkowski, she was in AEW. She was on Dark a lot. She's there now. She has like a different name. She's hot, dude.
Is that the one with the katana sword?
Oh, I can say that. Yeah, I'm not.
She's,
I'm not. I'm not shackled. I got freedom. I can
it's
talk about
okay.
my likes and dislikes, and what gives me boners and what doesn't. Um, yeah,
How do you
she was on Dark a few times, and now she's
how do you
yeah,
think
she's part of the Charlie Dempsey group.
Oh, she just joined them. Yeah, yeah,
She was the
yeah.
girl who like won by accident, and he's like, "Oh,
The no quarter catch crew, and
yes."
they saw them getting rid of Damon Kemp because they apparently act like mobsters too, or whatever.
Yeah, I like how
That's the
people get fired
storyline.
in real life. Now they kill them on the show. Dude. It's like,
I think
bro,
that
he's an Olympic athlete. We're gonna see him again. You know what I mean? He's not like he's going anywhere.
those Stevens brothers. I thought he was going to hang around, but those Stevens brothers. I'm talking about the younger brother. Both of them though fizzled out,
Well, the
and
one
now
guy didn't even make it. I think he had a bad rep, and I think there's like some personal shit, and there's some accusations about him. I don't think that he ever escaped.
he signed up with the Buffalo Bills. So in the NFL, you can get away with all those accusations.
Yeah, you can start a whole bunch of new ones there, dude.
Yeah,
If you want, you can you can start a new chapter.
you just can't get caught on camera. That's the only rules. That's the rule of Fight Club.
Yeah,
Ray Rice. Everybody forgave him. His wife forgave him. Everybody forgave him, but football.
except for
I
what?
mean, never mind. It's a bad thing. I shouldn't even be joking about it. Remember Ray Rice? He punched his wife. They were like
Oh
drunk at a
yeah,
casino, and he just. But it was all on camera. And once everybody was like really nuanced about it. But once you see it on camera, you're like, oh yeah, you should do something about that. Like he just
yeah.
knocked
No,
her
you can't
out.
smack. Yeah, and
Can't smack
then
him.
Dana White did the same thing, and nothing happened to him.
Yeah,
While he's promoting a show called Slap Fight, which by the way is still like the funniest. That's such a funny thing.
I'm not defending Dana's actions on anything like that, but
You're all, but hey,
even
don't ruin my New Year's.
I'm gonna just stop because people don't.
All right, dude. Look,
I
you're
had
the best, dude.
I've that was shitty and that was shitty, but there's a weird thing now where I don't know.
I mean, she hit him first. If we want to be whatever about it, okay, we'll stop. We'll stop.
Yeah, we should
Uh,
stop. We
yeah.
should stop. There's just stuff. There's too much time.
What would you like to talk about? Oh, by the way,
You know what I like to know though, and here's the thing: we don't do that type of shit, so we're like happy.
yes. Can I tell you? Like, I did a little outside homework assignment. I watched Josh Barnett's Bloodsport.
Oh yeah, did you see the MVP thing?
His new one. Yes, I saw it. And then the Creed brothers dominated. They're like the only two newer ones who did it. And like Charlie Dempsey's great. He's gonna be great. You know, he's a kid, so but he kills it. He's great. But yeah,
They've
it
been
was
throwing
cool.
him.
The one the one who doesn't look like whoever is Brutus the Oath, he had a good match, but the
The
younger one,
bigger one
he was
or the taller one? There's the
the
bigger
taller
one,
one. He
the
had
taller.
intensity, dude.
Yeah.
And it was like his one was like it right. You could feel the crowd like, oh shit, is he like he wasn't laying his shit in like that, but I mean like he was slamming him very hard on on these suplexes, dude. Like it
Yeah.
was like he definitely had a little extra mustard. And the guy who he was against, he was doing him a solid by taking it. He got his ass kicked, dude. I mean, it was
Yeah.
pretty. You should see it, but it was interesting because he got his ass kicked, but it wasn't the same kind of way like we would make fun of AEW when like Rouge fucks up Jungle Boy, and you're like, dude, like why why did he just abuse that guy? It wasn't
Right.
like that. It it made sense in the match, but yeah, it was great. They did cool, and then what's her name? Shayna Blazer did great.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it was cool. I mean, and then you know,
I like the blood sport events, and I'm hoping the thing. I'm a little sad that MVP is going to be leaving, but they haven't done anything with him. I know
Well,
he
did you
tried to
hear what
apply.
the thing is, right?
He said it was a race thing. It's all about the the hurt business apparently.
Yeah, they think, yeah. So listen, dude, if they can get the Hurt Business in AEW as the unit, we may be talking, dude.
Well,
We may be talking.
We won't have Cedric Alexander because they're in a NXT. Him and yeah, he's in NXT with his.
Well, luckily, Ring of Honor, there's no shortage of 5'3" dudes who can fill that spot. You know,
They should just
this
fill him in with Leo Rush, who's over there. That Bobby Lashley.
boom, boom, right there, dude. Because remember how great he was anyway on the mic.
Why did they stop that? That was back when everything was irrational with WWE for that period of time. Why did they
That
stop
was
that?
like, it wasn't my idea. I don't get it. Let's take it off TV. Even though everyone like,
I
don't know,
think
that was the
also
point where
he wanted to wrestle more, but still.
who MVP?
No, Leo Rush.
Yeah. Well, no. I think he got in trouble because he got fired, right? Yeah, because he has a big mouth, dude.
Yeah.
I think so. He got in trouble like there's like 3 places in a row that he got in trouble, and then like New Japan apparently shit talking doesn't travel across the ocean because those are the only place that would hire him.
Well, he's kind of rehabbing his career now. He's doing the stuff
Yeah.
on that, but yeah, the Hurt Business, but they'll ruin that in AEW. Did you see the pictures of them meeting up with Shane McMahon?
Yeah. Do you want to talk about the big news?
What's
The big news? Tony Khan had a meeting with Shane McMahon, who was last seen clutching his quadriceps in the middle of the ring while a stone Snoop Dogg was the patron saint of improvisation, dude, and saved the entire WrestleMania skit. And now he's dude, what do you think? What do you think, Vic?
I don't know what anybody gets out of that. Is the McMahon family look? What we know now is that Vince is persona non grata. Even if they're still like a family, they can't publicly acknowledge him, publicly do anything with him.
Yeah.
But is there bad blood in between all of them? You've got Linda, which is crazy that Linda and Hulk Hogan were at Trump's rally. For different reasons, but still because the bad blood between the McMahons and Hogan. For Hogan, the McMahon Hogan thing has always been weird too. But you got Linda, who's fully gone into politics. You'd assume that she's got a decent relationship with her kids. Vince is the one off the grid, but it seems like Shane and Stephanie and Triple H got bad blood with each other, right?
Yeah, well, isn't that always the thing? Is like they chose Stephanie. I mean, just from watching any kind of Shakespeare play, I think that Shane is upset because the brother-in-law got the spot that he should have got. Or he in his head, you would think. Even though it doesn't.
Well, look, Stephanie got pushed out to an extent. She can show up because they have like a little bit of presence with Stephanie because she kind of gets forgiven and whitewashed under the Levesque name or the Triple H name. But he's a McMahon. He's his father's son. Unfortunately, it's more of a reminder when you see him that, oh yeah, this happened with your dad. And I don't know. Yeah, and plus he's the male. Even though it feels like him and his dad aren't simpatico right now either.
He's not like a wrestling creative guy. You know what I mean? Like he's not someone that you're like, oh man, remember that awesome storyline that Shane helped, right? Like, he's a dude. Let's call it what it is. His dad was the boss. He was able to get his hands on some stuff that made his body look way bigger. He looks great. He has some charisma. He had some charisma, but all of his
stock was the fact that he was a talent. He
he was going to do one stunt like per match, kind of.
I didn't. You're right about the creative. Do we see any other creative with him? It was all basically stunt work.
Yeah, so I don't know what he's gonna. I mean, the only time I ever heard him, anyone say anything about his ideas was when he went to the Rumble and he was trying to make himself like last in the Rumble longer, and then they fired him. And then he was allowed to come back, and then that was when he broke his
Towards
leg.
quad.
Towards quad, yes.
Yeah, that's so crazy. I don't know, but what does it do?
It seems like it's just like na 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 na. I got your son, or what? Like whatever. I don't know. I mean, look, if he wants to bring in, if they have a cool idea for a faction or something, like even an invasion, if you want to do something like that, I mean, whatever, dude. I mean,
Let's just talk me and you. Let's say you know we've known each other for a long time. We have a partnership together. Let's make it even bigger. We have an empire together. Okay.
oh shit, we do have an empire. It's just we just
Yeah,
haven't castles yet.
yeah, that's right. We've got a couple huts. You know, there's a place to shit right over here, but we get through. A couple goats.
In my room on the floor.
Yeah.
We got a place to shit, dude. I never heard it, dude. Oh my god, dude! If we ever do blow up, can you not? Can you not give the tour to the people coming to our offices? We're like, hey, we got a place to shit right here.
It's like
And then we
there's the
got
shitter right
snacks.
there. No, but let's say there was a corporate takeover. I end up getting a position, and let's say we don't even have any animosity about that position.
Dude, as soon as you said you got it, I got mad, dude.
All right. So
Why is he getting in this story?
you're telling me we're still doing stuff with the business, but I haven't. I'm like Tank, baby. You got to wait a little bit, bro. We're gonna wait a little bit, all right? And then you're getting impatient. I'm trying to figure this shit out.
Dude, please call me Tink, baby. Oh my
yeah,
god,
baby.
Tink, baby.
You're like, well, they haven't used me in like a year or two. Vic's gotten big headed, which I probably have. You're like, I'm gonna go to the across the street to this other place that's ran like a shit show, and I'm gonna just debut and maybe have a match, one more match for them, maybe be their on-air thing, maybe do some business with them. Even though we're just, you know, we're let's say we're like brothers. Let's say we're brothers in a situation. Um, I consider you like a brother in a sense. What are you gonna? What does that say to me? How am I gonna take it if you were me? You know, like how are Triple H and Stephanie supposed to take it? Even if you and I are in a bad spot, I'm like, he's going to my competition. What the? And they're not going to do. You know, you're going to go to AEW, and they're not going to do anything significant with you. You know, Tony Khan's not going to put you in charge of anything.
Oh, dude, he's throwing money away. I don't see. I He's gonna try to give himself a match. He can't wrestle, dude. It's like it's literally they got rid of him because there was no real reason. I mean, did you see the article that was in response to what we're talking about? But it came out earlier today when I guess they asked WWE and they said that he had tested the waters and no one's interested. So it's like if he wants to be in wrestling, it's all ego, bro.
It is. It doesn't seem.
He's not like a great wrestling mind that he has like.
Ironically, the ideal spot would be the one. And look, shit happens. I think that had his quad not blown out, it was a freak accident. It was a freak accident when his dad jumped in and blew out both of his quads. It wasn't anything specific. I don't even think it was had anything to do with being in shape, but that was the spot that you bring him in for that pop during a WrestleMania, long ass WrestleMania.
I have a thought now. Thought just came in my head. Usually that's bad news, and then girls break up.
But he manages Jack Perry. Okay, go.
Fucker. God, can I have any ideas? No. I was thinking because he has college aged athletes as sons. His son, I believe, football player or lacrosse. But like D1 though. Like what if you bring all the male McMahon's in? You got Shane, you got the two kids that are athletes. They could, I mean, look, Shane doesn't know how to fucking wrestle either. So what are we doing, dude? Like, might as well bring in 4 people who don't know how to wrestle.
You know what you do?
But
you
he has
make
that kind of ego. I'm telling you, that's the kind of like I guarantee Tony Khan would be like, oh, we get the whole we're gonna have a McMahon family on my show. It's like, dude, you have one of each, and no one gives a shit, dude.
I say you make them Sting's kids agents, the Bordens. He just says, I'm gonna be their on-air agents.
Yeah, his name is Deacon. Deacon is
Can,
Shane's kids. Yeah, Shane's kid.
where do they play? I don't
I
even know
want to
about
say
that.
football, but it may be lacrosse. Because
Well,
they
you know
just
who
had like I just read some interview with him because he was in the news for doing something and athletes and
he plays D1 at the University of North Carolina, 6 foot, 170 pound athlete graduate in 2021 to June. Oh,
yeah,
so
he's not
he
very big, dude. You see the photos? He's not very big. It's kind of cool.
I haven't seen the photos. I'm just looking at
Yeah, he's got his like yeah, yeah, dude. Yeah, I know. He's in good shape, dude. He has a look too. He has a look.
yeah, that's crazy. Indiana. The other one's playing Indiana.
So that could be a thing, dude. That could be
That didn't even work out
direction.
for WWE. Who are the only athletes that are well, the Creed brothers, and you know what's funny? Those wrestlers are the ones that end up doing that's the wrestlers. More so and Braun Breaker's like the exception, but he's got football pedigree. I mean, no, he's not only got football, he's got family wrestling pedigree.
Well, and he also could have done. He could have done both. Like
Yeah.
he's that kind of athlete where if he wanted to wrestle, he could. I mean, most of us, we got no. I can't do any of them, so I can't. I don't have a choice of which ones I could do. I can't do any of them.
Wrestling is such you have to be in such a did you ever wrestle?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I wrestled
Yeah.
105 pounders.
Son of a bitch.
I was I was I
That's
was
what we're
one
from.
and eight, 1 and 8, dude.
I was the heavyweight, so I always hung around with the 105 pounders. And I remember my grandma, God rest her soul, would make us make me like 7 to 10 burritos and give them to me, and I'd sit there and I'd give one to the
So the small
105
guys.
pounder, and we're just sitting there eating burritos. Everybody else is spitting in the cup, trying to
Oh
drop
yeah,
weight.
yep.
Because the limit for me at that age was like 265 or whatever. So I didn't have to worry about putting on eating breakfast burritos for a whole day.
Yeah, dude.
That
Every
was,
every that's funny though because on like days where there was like a meet, you would see everyone would be wearing like the sweat outfits and like yeah, everyone would have the cup they could spit in, and then you just see the heavyweight walk around with candy.
uh, it,
Fucking dude, our heavyweight, he was like he was just a heavyweight because he was like the biggest dude.
it was like a year ago, but we were talking about wrestling, and my mom was there because she, would take us and show up and everything which was a supportive mom. And I don't know what if I said something or what I did, and I was like, "Yeah, mom, you like taking us?" And she's like, "No." She's like, "You think I wanted to hang out in a sweaty, smelly gym all day while you guys just wrestled?"
Oh,
She's
your
like,
mom went
"I
to the
did."
practice?
She went to no. This is just the meets,
I was gonna say, oh yeah, the
but
meats are gross too. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was like day long stuff of just craziness. I remember, I can't even. I don't know the exact thing, but I know that we ran to start the practice. And this is like the craziness, and this is why these people do well on the tours and everything. The amount of shape you're in to start practices. This is in high school as a high school freshman, sophomore, junior. Because I didn't wrestle my senior year because I just was like F this at that point. I was like, you know what? I'm not on varsity because the kid that was younger than me was a state champ, a year younger, and I was like, this kid is just brutalizing me. And I finally was like, yeah, I think this is it. I'm done. I'm gonna enjoy my senior year because we'd start off with like 4 miles.
Yeah.
We would run. We were at the high school. The middle school was
Every
like
day,
four,
right?
4 blocks
Every day
away.
we
We
start off. Yep, same with mine.
every day run to the middle school. Then we run in a circle. We do like about 4 miles. Then we go in and we start stretching, and then we would do this cycle. It was just the shape I was in, and I was like, I would always go in fat from. I was always fat, but not that fat. And all honesty, it wasn't that bad. But I was heavier in football. I was like 265, and by the end of wrestling season, I was like 30 pounds lighter and like muscular. It was a weird cycle. And then I would ruin it by going to track, chasing the girls, and eating nachos in the stands because I was a shot putter and did nothing. And I was
Yeah.
terrible at it.
I didn't know that shot putters can eat snacks.
No, it's just I'd
I guess
go up
so.
there. We do like 30 minutes of throwing, and then I would just talk to all the beautiful women that were way out of my league that were trying to run the 100 and the mile or whatever. And I'd be like, "What are you girls doing, huh?" And then I remember I got in a fight
So
with
she's all not throwing a rock for my neck.
and the funny part about that was
Oh,
I was terrible at discus, so I had to quit discus because it was like awful. It was like just shooting your load right away, man. I was just
dude,
like I
shot
do all
put is
these.
like the opiate. It's the opiest of all. Like, you know what I mean? It's just
Oh,
like
I would just
this kiss.
be
I
as
couldn't do that, dude. So
I
wait,
was
so like you couldn't get the spin down, right? It seems like I couldn't get the spin down when I watch it. Is that hard?
the spin wasn't as bad, but you have to like let it go, and I couldn't get the release on the hand, so
Sounds
I
like
would
me playing fucking video games, dude, too.
so I would spin, and then it would be like I would go, and you'd expect it to go like I don't know how long it was supposed to go, maybe 70 feet, I don't forget, and it would go. I mean, I'm talking like 10 feet. It was like the total, just like
By the way, I think it's yards, dude.
yards. Yeah, I
You're
told you,
all I think it went like
I gave up on. I thought you had to do both, and then I'm like, I'm not good at this. I'm like, can I just go hang out with and do shot put? They're like, yeah, you're fine. Go do the shot put, because at least I was like in second or third on our team of crappy people, and then I would just go hang out with the girls, and they were older, and they would like laugh and giggle at me, and then the pole vaulters would get mad because I would be taking away the attention from the girls. So there's one little pole vaulter one time. I mean, this is a long ass story, but he got mad. He got mad at me. He was a little shit, and I had watched Raw from the week before, and Bret Hart had did the hockey style, where he pulled his shirt over and started punching the
oh
guy.
yeah, yeah.
So I did that to him, and then lifted him up because he was like 120 pounds. Lifted him up and threw him on the pad the pole vaulters land on. But the kid, to give his credit, was not going to be disrespected, and he kept coming at me to the point where I was exhausted, and finally the coach came over to me and was like, "What the hell is wrong with you? You think you're gonna play around?" And I'm like, "No, sir. I'll go back to shot putting." And I got yelled at. That was the angriest man I've ever seen. That coach, but he was a good guy. But that was my routine. That was what I did. That was the most. And I would go to these stupid meets, and I would literally go get nachos, hang out all day. They're like, "Victor, it's your turn to throw." Ugh, 1, 2, 3. Be done. Go back to the stands. Like, "Hey, you look good in the 100. What's going on?" I mean, and they put me on a bus and give me a sack lunch for that. It was ridiculous. But wrestling, that was no joke, my friend.
It was not.
And
It was not
you were
joking.
105. Did you ever do the thing, just to finish this off? Did you ever do the thing? Because we go through, we do the cycle, and then we do more running inside on the pads. And the other part of it that they don't tell you about is you'd unroll the pads, and you'd have to wash those things down so good
Yeah,
and
we didn't have to
wash.
do that.
We did, because you were always, that was during an outbreak of, in Phoenix, kids were sexually active now, and they were getting herpes, and they would lock up behind you and put their mouth on your back. So all these kids were getting outbreaks of
Dude,
herpes on their back.
what
I'm
ghetto
telling you,
fucking
wrestling
dumb
was
dumb school did you go to, dude?
amateur wrestling is kind of gross.
I'm
Okay.
gonna give you herpes. I'm gonna give you herpes.
This was a state problem. So that was one of the things. People don't understand that. This is why it's funny. I love pro wrestling and everything, but amateur wrestling is not pro wrestling. But it is like this weird. Yeah, you push it. It's a Olympic tradition, all this stuff. But I mean, like I told you, we'd start after we did our run. We'd unroll all the pads, bleach and pine sol them, run while they were drying, and then at the end of the day, we do the same damn thing and roll them up. And it was like an hour of the practice was cleaning the damn thing, so we didn't get ringworm. My brother's friend was a really good wrestler, and he got ringworm, and they wouldn't let you wrestle if you had ringworm.
But yeah.
I go to pick my brother up. He's outside with a razor blade and a bottle of bleach. And he's going down the strain of ringworm, cutting it open
Oh,
and pouring bleach. And he scabbed up, and that ended up clearing up his ringworm, believe it or not. And so he could wrestle the next meet.
hey, everyone out there, don't do that, dude.
Do not do that.
Do
And
not
don't
do
get
that.
hurt. And
Holy
don't wrestle
shit.
with a herpes outbreak. Please don't. Isn't that disgusting?
Yeah, no, that entire story was
It was way too long of a story. I don't know why I got into that.
at least it ended with herpes.
And so what I'm saying is at least the Creed brothers didn't get herpes for amateur wrestling. And that was the point of the story.
Good job, buddy. Way to fucking bring it back.
I lost it. And that's why Braun Breaker only did football.
So, do you think if Shane McMahon, okay, imagine he doesn't do that and he has a faction, who do you think he's like aligns with?
All the ex-WWE guys
It's so
would be the
lazy.
smartest one.
My God, no one wants him there. No one wanted him there when he broke his goddamn or tore his quad. Remember that? It was like,
He got a really good pop though before that moment.
I mean,
I don't want to see people in. I'm to the point now. I want to see AEW develop some people. I think they need to slow down. I don't want to see WWE guys in AEW because it's disappointing. You know, who was the match this week? Was it Lance Archer versus who? He had a bunch of matches this week, but who was the main?
Will Ospreay.
Will Ospreay. Lance Archer was. Let's evaluate that. Lance Archer was a guy that was in TNA with a really bad tramp stamp tattoo that now is replaced with the three crosses of Jesus, and his death.
I still think it's a graveyard to his tramp stamp, but we differ. You know what I mean?
It can be both.
By the way, Vic, just because I disagree with you doesn't mean I dismiss your thought. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you. He reinvents himself in New Japan, turns himself into a monster. That was what, 3 years ago, 4
There were
years
so
ago.
many tramps that got stamped. So many, dude.
He comes back. They align him with Jake Roberts, who
By the way,
cut
he's
a couple.
A giant dude who has a great look, and
Yeah.
he goes by the Murder Hawk Monster, which is a goddamn dope name, dude.
He has a couple of good vignettes with Jake Roberts, who they didn't know how to take advantage of him, even though Jake Roberts should just be doing vignettes and not being ringside and be getting older. And they've kind of lost that. He could have done it for the first year, but
they never. I know exactly what you're trying to say. They never had it, dude.
They didn't take advantage of him, and now it's too late, is what I'm saying. You're right.
Yes.
And we see this guy. He's in Ring of Honor, sort of. He's in this stable with Jake Roberts and the Righteous, who's another tag team that could be better. They have this creepy look and everything. They should be good, but they're not.
To the ring, snapping. I love it.
Wearing flowers and all white. And I like the big guy's look with the suspenders. Man. It's like sort of a callback to like the Big Boss Man, but also where they're just like trippy evangelicals. It's weird. And that's gone nowhere. And then here he is out there with Will Ospreay. And it's just like they didn't do anything with him. And that's somebody they could have just adopted, said is their own, and they've kind of failed at it. The only reason Jack Perry, I kind of like where Jack Perry's going to an extent, but that's because of the whole CM Punk debacle, where this has kind of grown him up, and they're developing that. But
it's not really doing as much as they think they are.
No, you're right, because they're not executing this version of the Elite. Yeah. Well, he's fighting another tiny person in Darby Allin, who is also like
Battle of the Tinies,
and is losing his marketability too. The more face tattoos he gets and all that stuff. I don't know what they're, and I get it because it's weird. It's like you're gonna pay this guy to wrestle for you, and they let him do all of this other dumb stuff that I don't get. That's
on top of the dumb shit he does in the ring, dude.
Right, and so they're like invested in him. They're not invested in him. What are you doing with him?
Oh, dude, asking me, dude, I don't know. I have no like. I mean, we got to start at we got to start at the very beginning. What are they doing in general? Like
Did
they've
you
like
hear? Did you hear about the
he's
Sammy
gotten
Guevara thing?
over in spite of how shitty the like he's gotten over only because of his charisma that he has.
He
No one has
came
helped
down.
him.
He came down backwards, and it didn't even make a mark in the news because it's like, oh, that's AEW. Oh, they asked Martha Hart for permission, like you said. We got into the, we were having the same conversation, but we're not. It's just all silly. And then I just don't know. Did you hear about the Sammy Guevara stuff? He popped up in Ring of Honor as a babyface, and I didn't watch it yet. I watched like the fan clip, but he popped up in Ring of Honor as a babyface. And according to the dirt sheets, AEW offered him something, and he was like, "Pass. I don't to be a heel in AEW." But the idea was like not good enough for this guy, who's not also not that great of a wrestler too, and
Probably
really
something to
hasn't
do
lived up
with
to the hype.
Jericho. I bet
That's the
you
rumor that they were trying to put him back in the learning tree,
that would make sense, right? You're like, dude, I'm good. I don't need to be married to this guy,
which has
dude.
been tried. How many times has he been hooked up with Jericho? There was once where he
Three or
wasn't, and
four?
then they flipped it. I think it's 3 or 4. You're right.
3 or 4, yeah.
I don't want Bronson Reed to get lost in this Pete Dunne thing because I'm kind of done with Pete Dunne.
Well, he's had a
That
lot of different pushes, you know.
yeah, but what are you going to do with the guy? You got this acne guy with bad teeth and a weird tattoo on his knee, which knee tattoos are just weird to me. But
He
I'm not judging.
already did the one thing you can do, which is like go away and come back and look different. Unless he comes
I
back and looks fat now. I mean,
I think they need to like totally overhaul the gimmick, and Butch was not it. I think they need to say, "Hey, dude, get a haircut, um, shave, come back, let's do some." You know what I'd like to see him do, and this sounds crazy. He should be doing what William Regal did. He should be coming out in a suit, all prim and
oh
proper,
yeah.
and he should just be doing the same stuff, being a mean heel, but prim and
Because he has
proper
an
on
asshole
social
looking
media.
face, dude.
Yeah,
Like he has
but
a little like sneer, a
but
natural sneer to him.
that's the stuff he needs to take advantage of and do because right now it's just not working. It isn't. And Bronson Reed has potential. They need to keep him hot so they can throw him in when somebody else goes down and they start shaking things up. Bronson Reed could be in the Intercontinental title race again. Bronson Reed could join any factions. Right now they should keep him heel, but he could even be a babyface if they
He
wanted
should
to.
be a faction, dude. Actually,
Yeah.
you know what? He'd be like a good heater too. He's not bad on the mic either. And I heard him on a podcast once, and he was a lot of fun. He was very excited to be like talking about. You can tell he doesn't do a lot of promo shit, and he was like,
Final Testament has too many. It looks like it has a lot of people because you have basically two managers in there. But you add him to Karrion Kross and with the AOP, I think that would be something right there.
"I got like a 1,500 pound faction right there, dude."
That would
Jesus
be
Christ.
huge. All of a sudden, now you can see that faction, which I think would be great. The only problem is you got a lot of bodies. You're going to have to either get rid of, which they're not going to get rid of Scarlett, but you're probably going to get rid of Paul Ellering, who they still haven't taken full advantage of him either. But all of a sudden, I could see AOP, Karrion Kross, and Bronson Reed taking on the Bloodlines. I can see those guys taking on the Wyatt Six,
Yeah.
doing some weird like cerebral thing. That would be a good faction to bolster.
Who's Bronson Reed wrestling at SummerSlam? I guess is this going to be our SummerSlam preview right now?
Yeah, forget SummerSlam's coming. Is this weekend or next weekend?
This weekend, buddy. You goddamn better believe it.
I forgot for a second. I'll tell you right now what the
And
card
next year's
is.
SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights. So this is the last time for one night, I think.
And Minnesota, right? Or no,
Yep.
that's 2020. I think that
Oh, am I wrong? Is it going to be a regular
it's
next
going to be
year?
2 nights, but they
Okay.
announced it for 2026, so we don't know
Okay.
what's going to be at the next one. Hold on, I'm pulling it up
The
right
next
now.
one's probably only one night then.
Yeah, they don't have it on here. Minnesota's on here. So are they going to have one next year? I don't know. It looks on Wikipedia, it's not in there. So let's look at this card. All right. Man, this card has 7 matches, but is pretty lippin' solid.
Yeah.
So number 7 right now is CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, with Seth Rollins as
Seth Rollins.
the
Dude, by the way, that segment where he was explaining the rules and how it was gonna work, that was really funny, dude. Seth Rollins hasn't been like that animated in a while, and that was really funny. He's like, maybe it'll be 5 seconds, maybe it'll all count to 1,000,000. We'll see how I'm feeling, dude. That whole his whole line reading in them was pretty great.
It was pretty good.
Was really funny.
I don't understand the dressing like he's going to the Met Gala every week.
Oh
but,
no, those goddamn poofy shoulders were too much, dude. But
and heels
his
and
acting
everything
was really fun. It was a lot of fun.
So that's right now at the bottom. Sami Zayn and Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title.
Ooh.
By the
Wait,
way,
should we be picking as we're going?
yeah. So let me just set this up, and this is amazing. Besides CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, every other match is a title match. Okay. So they'll probably add, I think, maybe one more match up and maybe tomorrow to this thing. So let's start with CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. What do you think happens?
I think. First of all, did you notice like there was like they were way more into Drew as the face on Monday than Punk.
You think it's
But I
starting
think
to turn?
yeah, and then he was also being a dick too. I wouldn't be surprised if he does a little turn and then he loses. I
I
think he
wouldn't
kind
mind
of
that.
has to. I mean, he kind of has to lose, but he has to win too because he hasn't won in 10 years. But he also has to lose because
Here's the thing, it's a win-win for us because I think no matter who loses, who wins, this story is so hot and it's great.
it's not going to be done yet either. It's going to keep going.
Oh yeah. Okay, so then I have no prediction. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know.
You don't
And
have
that's
any?
great.
Oh, come on,
I don't
you
know.
pussy.
I can't read this one. I cannot read this one.
Do you think
Because
Seth Rollins is going to interfere a little bit? A little bit.
oh yeah, that's obvious. But I don't know who's gonna win. I think logic would go with what you and I were saying that Punk hasn't won and he hasn't wrestled like this in a while. So you need to kind of give him the win. But if he lost, it pushes the storyline further too. So they could do whatever they want. It's crazy. As long as they don't do something bullshit, it'd be great.
Yeah. I don't
So
think they're going to do anything bullshit. You got all 3 of those dudes there making sure that they're going to be in charge of quality control. So I think it's going to be.
the only thing that I wouldn't like is if Seth gets pissed and does the stomp on both of them, and the match ends in a no disqualification or a no contest. That would be the lamest thing to happen.
Yeah,
It's
it would be super
salvageable,
lame,
but
yeah.
I would be stupid. So no prediction. All right, next one: Sami Zayn, Braun Breaker, Intercontinental Championship. By the way, there's no tag matches on this card. All of these are single belts and single
Oh,
matches.
wow.
That's crazy too. So
Wait.
I'm assuming they're going to add a tag match somewhere.
Yeah, my boy Jacob Fatu isn't. Does that have a match?
Have they
I'm all
laid?
sad. I'm all.
No, that's on the SmackDown before. I think that's tomorrow
Okay.
on Friday SmackDown before, if I'm correct. Yeah. Again, super weird. This is it's like a really stacked card. There's no tags right now, and they're throwing some stuff to SmackDown. It's interesting. Maybe SummerSlam does need 2 days. I don't know. Now I'm kind of coming around to this 2 day thing. I kind of always liked one day. I thought it was good, but maybe we're going here. So Sami Zayn versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. What do you say?
Oh, I think you gotta give Braun Breaker his big win, his first big title win. And they usually do it's like SummerSlam is usually when like the new up and comer beats the Intercontinental Champion. It's been a long line. Ultimate Warrior, the Texas Tornado. Who else we got? It's been happening for a while, so you got to go with Braun, right?
I think so too. I think he's going to go in there, and I think he's going to do it in a very spectacular fashion. Another match that's
Dude, did you
interesting, but
see him throw that like kid on the turnbuckle post?
yeah,
Jesus.
that's Steiner blood, man. He needs to bring back the Steiner liner, the Steiner screwdriver. You
Oh,
you
the
see that?
screwdriver.
Remember
I
that?
mean, who's gonna take that?
They'll never let him bring that back. That
No.
thing was ridiculous. Um, the next one, which is kind of underrated and lost in the shuffle, but still an interesting matchup, is LA Knight, Logan Paul for the US Championship.
Yeah.
I think obviously here you're going to have to go that Knight's going to take it.
You're gonna have to, yeah. And then
But
Logan Paul's been saying a bunch of ignorant shit online, like for the last day. So it's even more of like LA Knight, let's get it.
I'm not going to get into any of that, but I don't think it's been that. It's about sports, and I think it's more. I don't think it's just been being ignorant, but sports is a very interesting thing. But yeah, they're probably going to
Oh,
take
I
it
can't
off.
wait to talk about this after we're off the air.
Uh,
All right.
I'm very open and everything, but sports to me is a weird thing. But that's where I sound. People get all sensitive about it, but I don't think you can mess around with sports. I don't want people messing with sports.
Okay.
I don't know why I got weird like that right there. Um, we're
Wait,
not
did
fighting.
you buy a bunch of Logan Paul's fucking crypto and now you're like part of the
I'm
cult now?
heavily
Is that
invested
what
in
is
Prime.
that what
Okay,
happened?
I have to
Is that
fix
why you're
this.
like he did nothing wrong? You're funny.
No, I look. People
I
don't
know,
do
I
well in the
know. By the way, it's
presentation. It's
also
just.
there's like he's whatever. We'll talk later. We'll talk.
I just think there are some complicated issues that everyone
Yes.
likes to draw the line on that I think we need to talk out more. And social media doesn't help on that. So it's like I'm not going to dismiss people on anyway. We get weird.
I don't just
Do I?
why'd you say
And
I
this is
fucking dismissed someone,
I'm
Dick?
just I'm not saying dismiss. I'm just saying Logan Paul is also. This is funny that I'm defending Logan Paul, and I really don't care for Logan Paul and these YouTubers, but oh well. And you know me, I'm a reasonable person. I'm not crazy, but
I
it
was just
just
saying it because like we just need another reason for him to lose. But
yeah,
yeah, I think he's gonna
it is
lose.
good. I just hate cancel culture too and all this stuff, but I just want everybody to be happy. Can that be
Oh my
can we
god,
just let it be at that?
fucking pass that, Junior.
Everybody's gonna be happy. Who do you think's gonna win? LA Knight or Logan Paul?
I think you gotta give it to LA Knight, and
Are
then
are you
we'll have
happy
a
with this
little.
feud, by the way?
Yeah, it's been great. I think
Yeah.
it's sort of fizzled. Maybe last like I think that like the stuff with Logan going in his pool like a month or ago or so or longer. That was great, and I think it's getting a little thin, but it's almost here. So
Yeah, he's had it for too long. It's time.
yeah,
Okay, so here's the way they have it broken down, I think is their ideal way of doing this, but I'm gonna go in my mind to the level of importance. Okay. So there's four more championship matches here, all for world heavyweight titles and WWE titles. So the fourth important is Bailey and Nia Jax. Now
you're
Bailey's picking it.
you're fat,
Bailey's
you're
pick.
clumsy, and you're reckless.
No, look, I love Bailey, and I actually have been a defender of Nia Jax. I think whatever I like this matchup, and I think it's coming back. But compared to these other three matches, which I'll get into, I find it to be the fourth level of importance. So we've got Nia Jax and Bailey. Nia Jax being the queen of the ring and Bailey holding the championship, having kind of a lackluster time. We've got Tiffany Stratton off in the background with the championship. What's she going to do? It's
Oh,
a
the Money in
very
the Bank.
interesting matchup. Yeah, Money in the Bank
Oh,
winner.
interesting.
So, who's going to win this matchup? What's going to happen?
I think. Well, I said it earlier, but I think the promo when Bailey like scorned her and was like you didn't hurt me, you didn't hurt people because you're good. You hurt people because because you're clumsy and you're reckless, dude. And I was like, and the crowd was like, oh, like who
Bringing real
calls anyone
life into it. I love it.
who calls anyone reckless, dude? Like, and then Bailey's face, like, oh yeah, yeah, I'll say it again, bitch. It was great. That's not my words. That's her face saying those words.
Do you think Bailey pulls it off and kind of salvages this? Or you think they move on and give it to Nia Jax, who hasn't had a run with the belt?
let me see. Her cousin is the chairperson of the entire company.
I didn't even think of that.
We can't escape any of them now. His grandma got in the Hall of Fame for a booking company that I just listened to that audiobook, Death of the Territories. Her territory was like not even in the top. It wasn't even a thing, really. It was a thing because it was the only one in like Hawaii, one of a few, but yeah, no.
She was still a groundbreaking person, and she was a
Yes.
woman that ran a thing during a time,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of craziness.
Yeah.
She was one of the first promoters to go against the feds before
Yep.
Vince McMahon went against the feds. So, look, so let's try to, that is into it, but is it also interesting that Nia Jax could have a run and Bailey's chasing her? Could that work better than Bailey being the champion? And again, it's not been that great of a run here.
No, I think Nia Jax is gonna win, and then I think Tiffany may try to do something. I think they're gonna try to keep it. I don't think
Stratton,
she can cash it in.
Stratton, who is a heel, by the way, and it's kind of, I hate to, it's weird to compare it to Stone Cold, but it's kind of like she's this heel that's taken off. People love Tiffy time.
Yeah,
I've been a big Stratton fan, you know that. So, do you think they just say, "Look, this isn't working. Nia's got it. Let's give Nia the belt here, and then let's have Tiffy come in and take it"?
I don't know because they just did that with Damian Priest. So I mean, I know that's part of the Money in the Bank thing, but it feels like they just did it. I don't know. I think she'll get like thwarted. I think she'll like try to, and Nia Jax will like bully her out of it or something, maybe. But
All
Nia
right.
Jax is gonna win that belt, dude.
I think so too, but I also like the idea. I like it makes Bailey more interesting when she's trying to get the belt than when she has it.
I wonder if Muhammad Ali's mom will make Nia Jax a people's champion too.
Yeah. The women's people champion? Yeah.
You know, she made that from scratch, right?
Yeah.
She
Oh, yeah.
like she went
She
to
got
school to learn how to make belts.
she
And then
got she got all of Muhammad Ali's old belts and she had them melted down and turned it
no,
into
she
this.
she learned how to melt it down herself.
Oh, really?
She did that herself too. This was a 20-year process. Listen, the people's champion needs his goddamn belt, dude.
You're really mad about that belt. I know you. So,
No, I was just like, are you like what small dick energy could you bring up? Like that is the small like everyone
he
else has
could
a belt and I don't. What are you? What dude? You are the chairperson of the company,
he
you
he
little
he
emotional dick having
clearly
motherfucker.
he clearly wanted to be the champ again, have this run
No, no,
and
a
it didn't
champ.
work out. And I bet you they talked to him and said it's not good for business, bro.
That is what I didn't even realize that before. I just thought he just wanted a belt because everyone else had one. I didn't realize he was going to be part of the championship match. And now he's not. So he needs, oh my God. Jesus Christ.
All right, let's move on. So we're both saying
Okay.
Nia Jax.
Nia
Okay.
Jax.
All right.
Nepo Jax.
Nepo Jax. This is hard. This is the one I would toss up, but I'm going to go with another women's matchup. Not saying that the men are more important, but these are some really good men's matchups. Really important men's matchups, I should say. Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley is my number 3. That storyline has also become unpredictable and interesting because of how it went down. Now it kind of feels like Liv's the babyface, and even though people love Rhea, it's setting up Liv to be a babyface. Do you get that feeling, or am I wrong?
Unless they may pull like a switcheroo. Like her and Dom may be in cahoots anyway. I think.
No.
I mean, because when she walked away all sad, dude, she like, or dude, her fake crying, man. Whew, come on, buddy.
But there's multiple ways they could have her get Dom involved and win, and Rhea's pissed at Dom, and Dom didn't do anything except try to help Rhea. There's other angles to this. They could surprise us, and I get this vibe, especially with the promo that she did, that now she's the scorned person, and people, and she was wearing those booty shorts.
was.
and people
Dude,
were really excited about those booty
I
shorts.
was I was I was one of them.
And Rhea's coming back. People know that she got married now. That I know that's weird, but that takes all these dreamers, it takes their little edge off it. And you've got Liv, you got this real life thing where I think Liv has kind of become the baby face in this whole situation. Because everybody wanted Rhea back. Everybody loves Rhea Ripley. She was the baby face of this group, but she's connected to Dom. I kind of feel like this is gonna be
And then they were mean to her.
yeah, I think they're gonna be yeah, they were really mean to her. They did mean girl shit to her. I think that Liv's gonna come out of this thing as the baby face. And I think Rhea's gonna be seen more as the heel.
That's yeah, probably.
I think she's
Unless they do like that switch I was saying, but
I think she's gonna keep the belt.
Liv,
I think Liv's gonna keep the belt. I think and I don't
Dominic's gonna end up helping her watch, dude. Dominic's gonna end up, dude, because
I'm 50-50 on it now. I'm 50-50.
he's stuck on that. He's stuck on that ass, dude. It's a nice one. If you're gonna get stuck on an ass, that's one to get stuck on, dude.
She told him she hated him. It could go. They could
But
swerve.
then she
us.
turned around and showed her butt,
They
and
could
so the last
swerve-
thing he saw was her ass.
They could swerve when they wrestle. They could swerve when they
Yeah.
try. I think
Yeah,
we
I
get
think they're gonna
swerve.
do a swerve. I wouldn't be surprised.
We just
And then
need
you
Prince-
got, but then you got Dominic staying uber heel with his new mommy, and then you got Rhea as a uber baby face, and she's gonna chase the belt. There you go. There we go.
All right. So here's the interesting thing, and see if you disagree with me. This is my secondary men's title match: Priest and Gunther, which is now actually ramped up. At first, it was kind of like feels a little like they're just doing this because they've made plans, but now it's like there's some investment into it. Gunther's the snob. He had that fight with thing. You kind of get the feeling that Finn Balor's going to do something to ruin it for him.
If
For
you
Damian.
lived on the street, then your your parents were bad parents, dude. I was like, oh no. The crowd had that reaction too. Like,
I liked it. I liked it.
yeah.
A
No, he's
snob
been great. Yeah.
telling everybody it's picked up. There's some emotional investment in it, and I really want to see it play out. Now
And,
I'm interested.
Damian also, he came back fired. Dude, I love the came in fired up, was gonna talk shit, and then just nope, and then just attacked him, dude. That was great.
Was good. It was something
Yeah.
you don't normally see.
Yep.
You
And
don't
it
normally.
was in his character too. Like he would do that. Like
Yeah.
it was cool.
I kind of feel like this Finn Balor is going to blow it. That's something. I feel like Gunther is going to win this thing and be set up to defend at Bash. What do you think?
Bash at Berlin.
Yeah.
Who do you think he's gonna wrestle at Bash at Berlin? Okay, first of all, I think Gunther's gonna win, but I think they're gonna have to do some bullshit with Finn so they can break up the Judgment Day up. But they also have to keep Gunther strong, so it's gonna be a tough line to walk.
You either have the rematch at Bash at Berlin and it's like Rocky IV in Russia, or you have I don't know who
But
else.
he's not white either, so it's like,
who's not white? Damian Priest?
oh no, he's American. He's Puerto Rican. My bad. I'm a fucking sorry, dude. God dang it.
Way to go. You really ruined it. He's a New Yorker.
I know.
Yeah, American New Yorker. Then he's Puerto
Us
Rican.
white guys, we just walk in a crowd and start humping people, and we don't really think about others.
Nope, it's true. It's very true. Looking at this card here, who else could step up there and be involved? Jey Uso.
Oh yeah, he's not in a match, right?
No, he's not in the match right now. He could, but I'm saying he could be the next step at Bash Berlin. Why not?
Wait, there's a lot of people not in a match.
Oh yeah, there's not enough room for that.
Dude, there's no KO, there's no Randy Orton, there's no.
No, the bloodline. The only person in the bloodline that's wrestling is the main event, and
Wait,
that
what's the
is-
main event?
Well, we don't know what's going to be, but my main event is Cody Rhodes and Solo Sikoa.
Oh, that would be the main event, right? Yeah.
They're on the poster, and we are being set up, and some are saying that they should wait, but we are being set up for the one true tribal chief
Come back.
to come back
Do you
and
think he
take.
comes back on Saturday night?
I hope so. I know that it could be better if they waited, but I hope so. I think that's the obvious way you don't give Solo the championship. So you're keeping the credibility and how dangerous they are, but all of a sudden, you see that thing, and the tribal chief comes out. Cody Rhodes gets the distraction he needs, wins the belt, and then we get the next Monday or next Friday. They're probably gonna have to wait till Friday. He comes out and he says, I'm the tribal chief, and that's where we go with that, man. Because I don't think Solo needs to get the belt or should get the belt right now. Do
No,
you?
I don't think he should. I think he's gonna lose. But what if you wait on Roman and then Saturday night Paul Heyman comes down the aisle with Brock Lesnar helping him?
I don't think you're going to bring Lesnar out till you get to War
Because
Games.
Lesnar and Cody, though, remember Lesnar and Cody, dude, buddies now. They had a little handshake. They had that
Afterwards, or I forgot if I thought they got
yeah.
they got really
Cody
bloody.
Cody beat him. It was that blow off street fight. And then Brock Lesnar, they even said it wasn't planned. He walked over there and grabbed his arm like for the audience, like and shook
You
his
know what
hand.
how my imaginary booking would be. So this is all plays out. Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman come out. They're trying to take back. He gets beaten up a few times. We go to War Games. They talk Jey Uso into coming and being there with them, but they don't have the fourth. And I've been going back and forth about this. Sammy's was so anti the whole thing. And then we also got Hikuleo. Remember, he's coming. I forget what name they're
Oh
going to give
yeah,
him.
the tall one.
So we need a fifth member. So whether or not Sammy comes back or not, you're going to need a fifth member.
We are.
Let's say they do a 5-man War Games. They need a fifth member. Who are you going to do it? You're going to go the Seth Rollins route again? Probably not, because then you have to re-explain that whole thing again, and their bad blood back and forth. And then nobody wants to see that unless Dean Ambrose comes back. You know what I mean? I think we're over that.
That's not happening.
So we need a fifth member. Who comes back? This is now you got monsters. You have this monster alternate version line of killers. You've got Jacob Fatu. You've got the gods of destiny, the gorillas of destiny. You've got Hikuleo, who's this tall ass son of a bitch. You've got Solo, who's also was a badass. No, let's not dismiss Solo. Who do you have? Who do they get their fifth member? Obviously, Brock Lesnar. Can you imagine that?
If he joins the bloodline,
OG bloodline, and Brock Lesnar versus this Tongan.
Oh yeah.
Tongan infused bloodline.
I can see Brock Lesnar coming back and doing that.
Can you see Brock Lesnar and Jacob Fatu and Hikuleo going at it?
Oh yeah, dude.
Obviously, the placement would be for him and Hikuleo because Hikuleo is such a much bigger guy than everybody else. But that's the way I'd play it.
I mean, I don't know, dude. When Jacob Fatu and Brock square off, you don't think that crowd will go crazy? That crowd will go bananas.
That'd be crazy.
They'll go banana.
If that happens the way I said it, I'm gonna get that grip knife tattooed on my chest.
Oh my god, fucking please do this, dude.
Chicks will dig it. I'm getting back into the scene now. I'll be like, hey, check this out. Can you just see me hanging out with my shirt out and my grip knife tattoo?
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, I'd be like, hey, Tinkle, let's get some meat hook tattoos on our shoulders. You're gonna have to talk me out of that one. Like, why does Vic got meat hook tattoos? Trust me, girls love them. Get Sable type quality women. But anyway, bad. I think that's where we're going with this. I would like to see that happen. I still think my Braun Breaker theory would have been great, but that's not going to happen now.
Now that I think Brock or Roman is going to come out. I'm going to lean on Brock, dude. No, it's not Brock. Maybe. Fuck. I don't know.
I think it's going to be Roman. I don't see Brock coming out yet. That would be. I mean, as much as I'd be psyched if Brock came out to defend Heyman's honor against them, the only way that works, and I don't think Brock's up for that, is to get beat down, and then the tribal chief comes out, and then it's like the Heyman people. At that point, that's the other way you could go with it. It's like all of Heyman's people. You got Roman, you got Brock. Let's throw CM Punk over there.
Yeah, but you can try that shit out too, though. You can have like Brock look strong on SummerSlam and then have him get beat down the next month, and then the next month Roman comes back. You can drag this shit on till forever.
I think you know where they should divert Cody to, by the way, not to leave Cody out of this. I think they need to. I think forget The Rock becoming part of this bloodline thing. I think The Rock and Cody should be WrestleMania next year, and I think
Yeah, it probably will be, right?
and I think the bloodline Civil War should be like a separate thing.
Yep.
That can finish itself out at night whatever of WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you see like easily Solo versus Roman is a WrestleMania caliber headline matchup.
Yeah.
And
I mean, after like a long feud, after it's been going on for
yeah. This is like the buildup would be that. So let's say War Games is November, and War Games Survivor Series is November. So you got December, January, February, March. You got 4 months to build it up to being Solo versus Roman after this thing, goes.
Yeah.
Just the two of them. And then the Rock stuff is now in this crazy world. The Rock stuff is like a shoot thing between him and Cody because he tried to ruin everything from Cody. It doesn't even have to involve Roman Reigns.
Yeah, no.
I actually think that's the better match. Nobody wants to see Roman versus The Rock anymore. It's Roman versus Cody. I mean Cody versus The Rock. That's the matchup.
Yep.
That's the matchup. We have to. It's time to divert, but who knows? Maybe they'll be for the People's Championship. We don't know. Title for title.
God, dude, Muhammad Ali, he better not give that belt away, dude. She spent 1,012 man hours making that. Female hours, excuse me.